Several hundred houses are damaged, and a great many, at least 100, will have to be taken down entirely. They are doing wonders clearing up. Every team and man is busy. The Northern Pacific and electric cars are hauling away loads. The whole town will be built over. The city hall is in a tent on Mendocino. Carithers is putting up a rough store on his lawn. Some of the merchants saved a lot of goods before the fire reached their buildings, but we haven't even a brush.
April 18th, 5:18 in the morning, 100 years ago, a major earthquake in this area. It was devastating to San Francisco, but it was a fire that destroyed San Francisco. In Santa Rosa, it was the earthquake that caused all of our structures to basically collapse. During an emergency, you're going to have building inspectors out. They're going to be checking the buildings and structures. There's a thing called red tagging. You will tag a building should it structurally be questionable. Utilities, they would be starting to check their lines, checking their flows, making sure that the pressure is in there. If there's a drop in pressure, we got a problem. Finley Center is a community center. During an emergency, we would activate that facility to become the Emergency Operations Center. The centralization of information goes to one place. That way the city manager office and city manager Jeff Cullen can make decisions based off the information coming in.
On all three resolutions and then a separate vote on the ordinance.
What normally is a cooperative effort between the council and the city manager switches over to a much more authority-driven system where the city manager becomes the director of emergency services, and it's more of a command and control type of structure. So I report to the Emergency Operations Center, or EOC, and that's located at the Finley Community Center.
Right across the street from Finley Center is the corporate yard. We have a lot of vehicles, heavy equipment, so you have everything that you need to make the right decisions. Fire and police are already out there. They're making quick assessments, and that information is going to come down through their dispatchers, will come down to Finley Center. Public Works immediately starts to look at bridges. Caltrans gets involved immediately as well. They're inspecting those bridges, making sure that they're structurally sound to not jeopardize life and safety. I have an assignment to be in charge of logistics. We're supporting that mission to first response, and then we will be working on the recovery, which is shortly thereafter the first response. We need to find and track costs, because we can't track the costs, we can't recover those costs, and that's going to have an immediate impact on the following years because we weren't able to document information. There's another Emergency Operations Center that covers all the agencies in the county. That's the Emergency Operations Center at the county.
As a citizen, you want to know that officials know what they're doing, that they have practiced and exercised, read their plans, trained in it. So when something happens, they're going to, in the shortest amount of time, save lives, protect property, and get the community back to normal. There's a main operations and planning room, and that's the big war room, if you will. You're going to see people in this room like utilities and transportation and schools and Red Cross and ordering people for general services to help get specialized manpower and equipment to support the field people, both in the response phase and then in the long-term recovery process. In California, we deal with something called the Standardized Emergency Management System. It means every unit of government will work with the same plan, procedures, and system. We all use the Standardized Emergency Management System, or SEMS. We have the same terminology, we have the same reporting forms to report how bad has a community been hit, what do you need as far as support. We all have standardized forms that we use, so we're not talking different languages up and down the support scale.
1 minute after 1 o'clock this afternoon, we're simulating that a major earthquake happened on the Rogers Creek Fault. It was reported about a magnitude 6.4 on the Richter scale. This will be a very compressed time exercise.
Santa Rosa and Sonoma County in general have done an excellent job of planning for, preparing for, and practicing or exercising for disaster and emergency response. We will do an excellent job of responding to the life safety kinds of issues that occur in disasters during the first 72 hours. One of the good things that occurs is to have small regionalized impacts that allow you to activate your emergency response systems. That has occurred on a fairly frequent basis here in Sonoma County with wildland fires and flooding impacts. We dedicate resources to exercising and preparing and planning and mitigating hazards every year.
The best thing that we can do as a community is to be better prepared personally, because we can't count on government to help us personally on that particular level. But we can and do expect government to make sure that supply lines are open and to help and facilitate the recovery.